All right, hey everybody, welcome in to a completely blind playthrough of The Roottrees Are Dead. And we have some, wow, beautiful music. Literally the only thing that I know about this game is that it has good reviews and it's sort of a deductive puzzle solving story-based game. And that just really piqued my interest and I wanted to try it out. So I just bought it immediately. And I'm already feeling like I'm about to be a detective from the smooth music behind me. So let's see what's going on here. So we have the Butler County Times in 1998. The Roottrees Are Dead. Oh, let me turn down the music just a little bit on this. All right, there you go. What happened? The plane crashed last night near Pittsburgh. The only passengers were Carl Roottree, his wife Brenda, and their three daughters, known as the Roottrees sisters. Carl Roottree was the president of the Roottrees Candy Company, and it's not clear who will succeed him. So far, local police are not sure what caused the crash. They're calling it one of the most deadly plane crashes in Pennsylvania's history. All passengers and crew perished. Pittsburgh is generally known for pleasant flying conditions, and the weather was not atypical for this time of year. We do not know much at this time, but our sources tell us that local authorities do not suspect terrorism. The crash did not cause any local property damage, and fortunately, nobody outside the plane was hurt. Funeral plans have not been announced, but you can be sure that the Butler County Times will cover it to the best of our abilities. And here's a little map of Pittsburgh. Okay, like I said, I don't know anything about what I'm expecting to get into here. Let's just hop on. The mystery begins here. Let's hop in. Yeah, so I don't know what this is going to be. If we're going to walk around, if it's more so just going to be clicking around. Oh, okay, December 6th, 1998.
The plane that crashed last night just outside of Pittsburgh is now known to have been the private jet of the Roottrees Corporation. Local aviation authorities have speculated, based on the pilot's final communication, that the winter storm and heavy winds played a significant role in the crash. On board were multiple family members, including corporate president Carl Roottree and his daughters, the Roottrees sisters, best known for their fashion lines and modeling careers. There were no survivors. Again, for those of you just joining us, the Roottrees are dead.
Ooh, okay, cool intro. Okay, and so it's Roottrees, not root trees. Oh, hello.
I know it's late, but I'm guessing you've seen the news. In addition to dealing with the grief, the Roottrees Company's lawyers are scrambling.
Okay, turn the volume back up a little bit.
Change. Anyone proven to be a blood relative is about to get much richer.
Okay.
I'm here to ensure everyone is accounted for.
Sure.
I've heard you're an expert at sorting out complicated family trees.
I guess so.
A genealogy genie, as it were.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a quick test. Pass, and I can promise you the job of a lifetime.
All right, so this is a genealogy family tree type of puzzle, maybe. Okay, what's the test? Complete the family tree of the Roottrees sisters. Okay, siblings are in birth order, oldest here, middle, youngest. Do list. Examine my evidence, search the internet for clues, fill in any names, occupations, and photos. Sleuth, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. All right, look at this. Okay. So the oldest one is married. Okay, sure, that just zooms us in. We don't really have anything else to scroll around here. And this is, okay, so family tree, evidence. Okay, we have two alerts here. All right, we got a picture, a got milk picture. Okay. The person who hired you gave you this photo with the note attached. This was taken during the shoot for the Roottrees sisters' Got Milk ad. I've tracked down a test photo from before they painted the fake mustaches on, which I thought would be more appropriate considering the circumstances. The ad's copy reads, "You might recognize our faces from the magazine you're reading, or you might recognize our name from the candy bar you're eating. Being a Roottrees is a full-time job, but so is growing up. That's why the calcium found in milk is so important. Plus, you can't make chocolate without it." Okay. Directly off of... I can't... Wait, hold on. Who has a ring? You. Okay. So the one on the right, let me write this down. I have a little journal with me as well. So I'll say right, got milk, add, married. So you are the oldest in the blue sweater. Anything else notable? Like faces, blue eyes, blue. It looks like all. I can't really tell if you're blue eyes or not. You're the only one with earrings, maybe. I'll say no earrings. It doesn't look like either of your. I can't really tell if either of their ears are pierced. Anything else notable? Looks like you all have the same painted nails. You all have pretty similar teeth, it looks like. All very similar hair, of course, as well. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's cut off here. It looks like so similar length hair as well. Okay. All right, and then this. Oh my gosh, okay. This list was provided to you by the mysterious person who showed up at your door. You'll need it to fill in the family tree. Okay, we have Eloise something, Gwyneth Anderson. I'm not going to read all these, but oh my goodness. Okay, a lot of Roottrees. Wow. Okay, just so many names. Zach Wilson, like the quarterback, and Steven Wilson, like the musician. Okay, sure. Miracle, Miracle Jr., Miracle the Third. Okay. I don't think we were given any names as far as I'm aware. Okay, what else do we have? We got a computer. Oh, welcome.txt. Okay. Welcome to the Information Superhighway. Thanks for purchasing a new Cashew PC. Your PC is equipped with a 56K modem, which is fast enough to access any site on the World Wide Web, even those with high-res images. If you find anything interesting, be sure to print it out with your included high-end color laser printer or burn a music CD to listen to later. If you want to revisit a search result, be sure to use Netscape Explorer's new history feature. Happy surfing! And remember, Cashew PCs are delicious. They're inedible. Do not try to eat your computer. Okay. It's 7 o'clock. December 6th, 1998. Okay. Yeah, dialing up. Will we be able to connect to the internet? Yes, we can. Okay. All right, what's up? Spider search. Pro tip, you can create notes by quickly highlighting text with your mouse. Oh, quickly by highlighting text with your mouse. Okay. Oh, can I? Oh, I can look stuff up here. Roottrees sisters' names. Nothing relevant found. Roottrees. Okay, this is interesting. The first few pages are filled with news results about the plane crash. Besides that, there are countless advertisements and conversations about the various products made by the Roottree Candy Company. Most articles mention Carl Roottree, who was the president of... Okay. So we could do this. And that... Oh, interesting. Okay. Let me... Can I just add a note here then? Right sister, got milk, add, blue sweater, oldest and married. Okay. So that's here, I bet. Can I say Roottree sisters? Oh, here we go. This is something. Okay. There are a lot of obituaries that focus on the Roottree sisters' modeling careers. You also came across an unofficial Roottree fan site seemingly curated by a teenager. It's neon pink with purple text and hard to read until you highlight the words. The young webmaster writes, Oh, here we go. Okay. So Raina is the most famous because she's the oldest and got married to TMS. Okay. But Riley is the smart one. Rose is the middle child. This is cool. Okay. And what happens if I press this? Okay, just delete it. Gotcha. You might think they're rich just because they are models, but their dad is also the president of the candy company, and their mom, Brenda, is a fashion designer. Okay. They do the modeling for her brand Root. Okay. And then I guess, hold on, if I hop to here, okay. Mom, Brenda, brand Root. Fashion. Okay. I eat Roottrees candy all the time. My favorite are maple crisps and try to dress in plaid root clothes like Riley does in... Okay. Like Riley does in most posters. So, and then someday I want to get my ears pierced like Rose. There we go. So we noted which ones were which before as well. Okay. So we should... What is this? Oh, and we can get a hint. Well, I don't want that. Can I add a note to this or something? Doesn't look like it. Okay. But, so the oldest is... Okay, Raina, Rose, and then Riley. So we have Raina. Okay, Raina. This is going to be Rose. What was it? Ah! Wasn't it Rose? Wait, what? Okay, hold on. Riley is the last one. Okay, what did they say the middle one was? Rose. Nobody with that name. Okay. Okay, interesting. Rose. Not on here. Samantha, Tessa, November, Margolite, Lauren, Christina, Gwendolyn, Carly, Candy. No Rose. Okay. I do have portraits. Click on faces on your evidence tab. Oh, okay. I see. Alrighty. So, Raina, you are this one. And then the ears pierced was Rose. Okay. And then Riley is plaid. And then Seth's Riley. And you were TMS. Okay, let's look for a double name here. Oh, wait, S, duh. Probably Thomas Sheridan then. TS, right? It was, let me confirm. TMS? Yes, okay. All right. So you I can delete. Was there anything about occupations that I noted here? Well, they all modeled. Can I just say they were all models? I guess. I mean, that's certainly what it said. Okay. But there's no Rose anywhere. Okay, let's look online for name changes, potentially. Rose Roottrees. Here we go. Rose Roottrees is not as popular as her older sister Raina, but still very well known. Most of the time, they're lumped together as the Roottrees sisters. Unfortunately, the results for Rose by herself do not lead to anything different than when searching for the sisters together. If someone isn't in the list of names that your employer provided, doing a deeper dive on what you learn about them will often lead to additional discoveries. A good research tip is to make note of any brand names, books, product lines, or magazines that you don't recognize and search for them. Yes, okay. So I'm figuring... that maybe she changed her name? What? Okay. What else do we think we can... So in the notes here, the middle child. I want to get my ears pierced like Rose. Root Fashion Company, maybe? Really? Root. Okay. Root, the period is part of the name, is a clothing company. They make clothes for children. Yeah, okay, so hold on. Yeah, so it says Rose here as well. Although their website is down, you find countless retail sales. Target audience is, they make clothes for children, toddlers to teenagers. Okay. Yeah, Riley, Rose, and Raina. It seems that Brenda Roottrees, and did I write down Brenda? Yes, I did. Okay. The only time... Oh, here we go. This site says this was the only time her daughter was ever listed with her birth name, Carly Roottrees. So, let me say that Rose was born Carly. There we go. Let's hop back into here. Carly. Here we go. Nice. Well done. Thank you. These 3 entries are correct and have been locked. Raina, Carly, and Riley, all models. You've also unlocked the following optional entry, Thomas Sheridan. Booyah. There we go. All right, have you hired me?
Sorry to test you, but I had to be sure you could use the internet. Some folks refuse to get with the times. Safe to say, you're hired.
Fair enough. Hey, I'll take it. All right.
The reward for untangling the family tree is substantial. Life-changing, even. But here's the catch. The Roottrees go way, way back. The family tree's a bit daunting. Most people freak out the first time they see the whole thing. But I'm sure you'll be fine.
I think maybe I can handle it. Also, apologies if this voice is a little low. It's a little low on my end too,
was
but
particular about whom he considered family. For your purposes, you only need his direct blood relatives.
okay.
Anyone related only by marriage is optional, but filling them in can lead to useful discoveries.
I'm definitely gonna go for it.
Lastly, you now have access to some unique websites, plus a list of notable Roottrees.
Okay.
Notable people are easy to find via your search engine, and marked with stars on the family tree.
Oh, interesting.
I'm off for now. Carl Roottree had a lot in his office. I'll look for anything useful. I'll return once you identify 6 more blood relatives.
Sure. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Sorry, one last
Okay.
thing. This might sound odd, but if anyone else claiming to represent the Rootrees reaches out, I'd appreciate you not mentioning I was here. Thank you, and good luck.
All right. Okay, so we got our stars. Okay. Here are notable ones. Sure. Oh my goodness. All right. Okay. Every time you get 3 additional blood relatives correct, they'll be locked in. Okay. So this is kind of like Return of the Obra Dinn. Every 3 that you get completely correct, it'll tell you they're correct. All right. So the Roottrees Candy Company was founded in 1908 by... Just tell me, Gwyneth and Elias? Okay. Hold on. So before I do anything else, is it not just Brenda and hold up, Carl. Should be right off the start, because yeah, their dad was Carl Roottrees, who was CEO. Whoops. Go back to here. A president? I mean, do we count president? Uh-oh. My question is, does this mean like president of the country? Did I say fifth president of you know? We'll figure this one out. But it was Brenda. That was the only Brenda that showed up. Okay. Okay. So yeah, we have a lot. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, we already have 3 new pieces of evidence that are laid out here. So let's go ahead. This is an advertisement for 5 pieces aimed at kids from the magazine Teen Blast. It mentions that the 5 pieces were named as such because the original creator had 5 children. Search periodicals. Okay. The ad also mentions that the current 5 flavors are not the same as back then. Okay. There's 5 flavors because the original inventor had 5 kids. Maybe that's why kids still love them. Radical new. What is this? Oh, okay. Wow. New stuff. You've been in this line of work for a long time. So long, in fact, you developed a sixth sense for how useful your evidence can be. The numbers in the magnifying glass refer to how many clues are connected to a specific piece of evidence. The higher the number, the more there is to find. At the start of your search, the notables list sets off alarm bells. A list of famous people that you can find via search engine? It's pretty rare to get something that useful. Best take advantage of it. As you progress, these numbers will change. Whenever you find more evidence or lock in family members, new discoveries will be added to the list and old evidence will become less useful. Trust your intuition. If a piece of evidence seems too good to be true, take a closer look at the people or phrases it mentions. Often the most satisfying revelations come from retracing a path you thought was fully explored, armed with a new perspective. Sometimes the reason certain evidence has such high value is because it can lead to finding more evidence. You may be missing a huge piece of the puzzle. Okay. Oh. So there's a lot to take from this. So, 5 pieces will certainly highlight this. I think, you know what? Let's start a new page. I can't rename the page. Oh, I can. Okay. Page 2. Let's call this Andy's, maybe? So these are the hints that specifically have to do with the company, potentially. So we'll highlight this. Okay. And now, my thought is, immediate thought, right? Let me open the journal again. Is there no way I can't see this? Okay. Can I move this around, please? No? Okay. Well, I wanted to look at this. Okay. Let me write it down here in my actual physical notebook first. Sorry, what I was going to say. There are 5 flavors, and they specifically label them here. So maybe what I'm guessing is potentially the 5 kids could have these initials. So we have S, we have P, we have C, we have B. I'll do a question mark for blue raspberry. And then A. Okay. Oh, hold on. Radical new flavors because it's no longer the 1920s. What even is an elderberry anyway? So there was E. All right. So what I'm going to do, with this in mind, initials S, P, C, B, blue, raz, A. Hold on. Okay. Used to be E, elderberry. Okay. Anything else here? I think that's what we take for now. Yeah. All right. Notable root trees. 35? 35 from just these names? I wonder how that actually helps. This is a list of notable root trees. The person who hired you gave this list and said everyone on it could be found easily via your search engine. The sisters, Carl, Elias and Gwyneth, Gwyn, Red, Jim, Lauren, and then Miracle Jr. Any entry on the family tree that belongs to someone on this list will be marked with a star. Notable root trees will be crossed out after they are verified and locked. So I will highlight that these are all starred. Now this is not going to go into candies. This should go... I'll call this sister... I'll call it immediate family. You can be notable. Okay. Here we go. Alright, and then this is the other one. The story so far. The Roottrees sisters and their parents died in a plane crash on December 6th, 98. The next evening, a shadowy figure appeared at your door and said the lawyers were looking to sort out the family tree. After a quick test, the figure gave you access to some resources. This included a list of notable Roottrees who said they would be the easiest family members to place. They said they would return in the time it took to fill out 6 more blood relatives. Okay. So let's just start with Carl. See if it confirms, because I put down that he was the 5th president. All right, Carl Roottree died in the recent plane crash along with his wife, Brenda Roottree. Again, I chose the only Brenda, so hopefully that was the right one. Hold on, let me turn down the volume just a little more again. Okay, there we go. All right. He was the president of the Roottrees Candy Company as well as the clothing company Root. Okay, so maybe not 5th president. Well, we'll see. We mourn the loss of Carl, Brenda, the Roottrees sisters, and the other employees. The entire family is in shock and requesting privacy. As the head of our company, Carl was an incredible man and unmatched leader. Filling his absence will be difficult and make it take considerable time. In the interim, we hope that you join us in looking back fondly on Carl and his family's triumphs and accomplishments. They go to list some of those accomplishments. Okay, one of them seems relevant to your search. Like his great-grandfather before him, Carl earned the highly prestigious Watchman of the Year title. Is there a way to move this? Oh, okay. Okay, here we go. So this is in the immediate family, talking about Carl. So it just says president. Okay, let's go back to here. Let me just scroll through and see what we've got. Because I feel like it specifically used the term president a lot. Different than CEO in this case? I'm not sure. Anything else? Director could be interesting. Yeah. Okay. And then you were the only Brenda. So, has to be you. All right. Let's see. Can I walk around at all in here? Oh, okay, here we go. Hold on. The Notorious Montjoys. Oh, geez. Okay, how far back are we going to go? Okay, so I can't get a picture of these guys. All right. I'm going to have to leave y'all for now, but I bet there's something to do. Oh, okay. Oh, wait, okay, yeah, this is where we were. Anything else I can click in here? Riot Girl. Don't know which one. Clock, can't click this. No? Anything else I can click? Okay, doesn't look like it. Oh, that door's ajar. All right, nothing? Okay, let's go back to the computer then. Let's go to the periodicals. Carl Roottree. I'm looking for a picture now. Okay, I guess if we had to look through a specific one. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Watchman of the Year. Okay. Let's see. Let me just look up the candy company then. Okay, so there are no images on here, it seems like. Mixed in with the recent news of the plane crash, there are a lot of results for Roottrees' extremely popular candy products. Their official website's unstable. You may find, you find a direct link to the history section. Okay. It was founded by Elias shortly after he married his wife, Gwyneth, which I think we already have labeled up there, whose family owned a small farm called the Anderson Maple Farm. Okay. So let's call this one, or let's put this in candies. Okay. For reasons that aren't explained on the page, okay, here we go. It has no CEO and stockholders. Instead, it's run by a president. There you go. Every president has been a direct descendant of Elias and Gwyneth, including Carl, who, despite his death, is listed as the current president. So I assume he's the 5th. The product that put them on the map were 5 pieces, maple candies with 5 different flavors, dipped in a crispy, crackly candy coating. Since then, they have branched out to countless other products, all of which incorporate maple in some way. Their sister company, simply titled Root, specializes in children's clothing, and the models are the Roottrees sisters. Okay. This is good. So I feel confident. Wait, let me see if he's the 5th. Well, so that should suggest then, if we just go directly up, right? President? If directly, right, it would have to go this way if it's through direct correspondence, right? Let me confirm. Was that it again? It says direct descendant. Hold on. But I suppose that doesn't necessarily mean that it goes family to family like a king would, right? But you are the most recent. So Elias was certainly the first then. I mean, it's directly listed here. Right? Like, I mean, Elias. Why does it... Am I missing something, or is it just directly saying it? And then that would be Gwyneth Anderson, who worked at the Anderson farms, right? Okay. Once you verify this person, you'd be able to add a bonus photo. Yeah, so I want to try to find an image of Carl. Okay. Sure. What did we... From the magazine you're reading. Does it say what the magazine was? Not directly, it doesn't look like. Okay. When we looked up... Was it Rose? I know we saw a magazine somewhere. It just says fan site. Okay, not a magazine. That's what it was. Okay. What else can we look at here? Let's look at 5 pieces. 5 pieces. Okay. For marketing materials and various candy history sites, you learn that 5 pieces are the iconic candy sold by the Roottree Candy Company. Although they are no longer the company's only popular product, they still sell well. Yeah, maple candies, shape of a maple leaf. Yep. Oh, here we go. Image links are broken. There's also a history of print advertising website that claims to have a 5 pieces advertisement scanned from a book called Here we go. Copy this. Public library. Okay, Sweet History of Candy Volume 2, Charles Lee. Oh, look at this. Okay, this is cool. Oh, look at that. Okay. Part of a book series about all things candy in the modern world. Starts in 25, ends in 85. It adds a newspaper ad for 5 pieces. Look at this. Oh, here we go. Okay. 6 years after the debut, it states that the flavors are inspired by their children. There we go. Yup, okay. Just as I thought. The names probably correspond to children. Flavors inspired by our children. And now what I'm guessing is they may just order this in the order of birth. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Do we think that this is birth order, though? Yes, siblings are in birth order. I assume it means always. Yeah. So, that could suggest we would be looking at... Oh, wait, I forgot. I can go here and open up the journal. A G, then an E, then a C-E, then an M, and then Miracle. Now, I know we had a Miracle and a Miracle Jr. Miracle. That would imply that one of you is Miracle Jr. Notable is Miracle Jr. So that would suggest that you're a Miracle Jr. probably because you're labeled as a notable with a star. Are any of these labeled as notable? No, okay. Interesting. Curious. Elias and Gwyneth. And then... Interesting. Okay, that's interesting. Alright. Now, we know that CE is going to be this middle one. Let's look for a CE. Because it should be a 2 name, right? If it stands here. Clancy Edward. There we go. That's CE. Okay. And then this is just an M, which I wouldn't say that we know. A G and then an E. It also said... So why did it say here... What even is an elderberry? Okay. Interesting. So that's 4. I don't know if we have 5 siblings anywhere else. Yeah, we don't. Okay. But I'm certainly going to keep that in my mind. Certainly. Okay. Now, let's look up Miracle Jr. Actually, yeah, let's look up Miracle Jr. and see what we've got. Miracle Jr. Miracle Jr. doesn't go by his full name in promotional materials. Instead, he has shortened it to Miracle Jr. Miracle Jr. is a televangelist. Okay. Who is part of the Miracle Network. He used to have a show. Okay, so let me just highlight. I'm going to add one that's just going to be jobs, I think. Just so I can move you here. Come on. Oh, come on. Hello? Hello? Did I not drag and drop you? What are we doing here? Was that not a thing? What? I swear it let me drag and drop it perfectly fine before. Okay, maybe I'm just in the wrong spot. Hold on. What? What? Hello? Oh, I had to press reorder first. Okay, okay. I see. Alrighty. Let me return now. He used to have a show that aired on local access networks across many stations in the Northeast, okay? According to a website called Clergy Watch, he was exposed and subsequently charged with conspiracy to defraud the public. In 1979, incredible Smashing Pumpkins song, when he claimed to heal someone in a wheelchair, a news expose revealed it was his wife Edith's sister in a disguise. Okay. The author also mentions that Edith has a bit of a checkered past herself, but doesn't clarify. He has since lost his television show and instead goes on tour across the southern United States, where he was not well known before the scandal. Okay. So let's immediately go over and fill out Edith. There's Edith. Okay. Let's go to Clergy Watch. Anything else on here? No, that's the only thing that shows up here. Okay. Oh yeah, and then let me go and say, I can't say televangelist. Okay. What can I put here though? Or wait, okay, yeah, what did it say he does? Instead goes on tour. Still is a televangelist. Let's see. Okay, so what could fit that here? Media mogul, maybe? Well, he's not a media mogul. Oh, preacher, that fits. Okay. Yeah, so my question is, where am I going to get the pictures, right? Can I click you? No, okay. Alrighty. Let's now look into Brenda White, the mother of the Roottrees sisters. Okay. You stumble across an auction for a black and blue dress that's a Brenda White original. The auction describes it as a vintage dress from before Brenda became Brenda Roottree and started designing clothes for Root. The white and gold dress itself, black and blue versus the white and gold. We're bringing that up. By the way, it's totally white and gold. I genuinely, not a single picture have I ever seen it as black and blue. I swear. I don't know how people do. Anyway, okay. So not super helpful. Let's see. What else can we look into here? So we have 5 pieces. We found what we wanted from that one book. Let's go Roottrees Sisters fan site. Okay. It just says a fan site. Yeah. Let's copy you and look this up. Okay, nothing. Okay. Let's see. Can I say Roottrie candy other than 5 pieces? Okay, that's probably a little too wide scale of a search, I'd guess. I mean, okay, so the game was pointing out that we should probably look up the famous people, right? So let's look up Gwyn Roottrie. It's hard to type the name Roottrie. You find some information on a website about old films that are not yet available on VHS. The site's not very well organized, and the search engine is broken, but you can get to individual pages from your search engine. Gwyn is a somewhat well-known actress who was active in the 1950s. She often appeared in tabloids, especially around the time of her highly publicized divorce. Hold on, here we go. Okay, her biggest role is in the minor hit movie Guys Like Us. She left Hollywood after the flop of Christmas Mission. There's a widely circulated picture of Gwyn from behind the scenes on one of her movies, which you've added to evidence. There we go. Gwyn is a granddaughter of Elias. she shouldn't have been named Roottrees. Okay. Oh, but her father took her mother's famous name. So granddaughter of Elias Roottrees. Okay, so here's Gwyn. And we know, so he's on this level because she's a granddaughter. Split up. Yep, and she got divorced. So that has to be her. Because this is the grandchild. That was the word I'm looking for. This has to be Gwyn. And because she got divorced. Gwyn Roottrees, who was an actor. And we have a picture of her. Right? Yep, so still says that she's still an actress. It just says... doesn't say who she married, right? Yada yada blah 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 blah. No, okay. But we know that this is, so we have unknown name, but this is an unknown female. And that's the unknown male. And so you are an unknown female whose name must start with, I think was an M for melon. Melon. Yep. Other than Miracle. Okay. And the name is just going to be Roottrees. So it's another M woman. Margolite. Is that the only one? That's the only one. This is Margolite then. Okay. And then we don't know Gwyn's father's name, though. We just know that it's not Roottrees. Okay. Now we're just missing these first two up here. Let's look into Gwyneth Anderson now. See if we can get a name. Or, sorry, not a name, an occupation. Okay. The first Anderson maple farm. A few pictures. There we go. Before marrying Elias, Gwyneth Roottrees was Gwyneth Anderson. Yes. Was to inherit the Anderson maple farm so long as she was married. Before Elias took over, the farm produced only syrup. It was supposedly Elias's idea to create candy instead. Their success was not immediate until they decided to combine the maple with other flavors, leading to 5 pieces. Sure. Candy company expanded, but it was preserved as a tourist attraction. There's still daily demonstrations and educational tours that show off many of the turn-of-the-century appliances that Gwyneth would have used as a housewife in the early 1900s. Okay. Okay, so here is Elias and Gwyneth. Elias, that's you. Gwyneth, that's you. And so, can we say housewife? Housewife. Ah, there we go. Oh yeah, because we filled out Gwyn, right? Gwyneth, and Elias. Yes. Okay. And Brenda White and Edith Jacobson. Nice. Okay, good stuff. All right. So that's good. These are all locked in and correct. You love to see it. Now, Miracle Jr. didn't have a picture here. I did look them up though, right? Let's look up the Miracle Network. Here we go. You found a website for the Miracle Network, a production company run by the Miracle Roottrees estate. It's quite bare bones, but has the following blurb. Witness the testimonies of the Miracle's Roottrees. Miracle Roottrees arrived so late in his mother's life that doctors swore he wouldn't survive his first year. His mother and father, yes, Elias and Gwyneth, right, named him Miracle because they thought he was impossible. Sure, very young. With a birth that late, the final child of his generation was nearly torn apart by countless health problems, but still with the power of God on his side, he persevered, triumphed over these complications, and even regained his sight to spread the healing word of the Almighty. 23 years later, Miracle Roottrees Jr. arrived. Okay, I was gonna see if there's a specific... Do we think I should know these? I'm trying to think if I need to know the dates here. I might write this down real quick in my actual journal. I'll say Miracle, 14 years younger than... It was the other M. I forget her name already. Other M child. Okay. M Junior, 23 years. After he was born, or what? Probably. After Miracle. Okay. And then at 18, left the name. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's why it just goes by Miracle Jr., not Miracle Jr. Rootree. Okay. All right, and then we have this, which will be a picture. There we go. Celebrate with your pastor, Miracle the Third. Uh-huh. Okay, here we go. Let me write this down. So, in the summer of 96, that is Miracle Rootree is 68 years old, right? So that means it was born in 1928. If I did that, yeah, should be. Did that math correctly. And that means anything else here? I'll figure the rest of it out later. But okay, so Miracle was born in 1928, which means that the other M was born in 1914. Okay. And then Miracle the Third and his wife Nicole. Oh, this is you probably, the Miracle the Third. You are Miracle the Third. Miracle the Third, and then his wife is Nicole. Can I just type Nicole? I cannot. Okay, I will put that in a note then. Name, I'll say names question mark. Miracle 3, wife is Nicole. Okay. Miracle the Third is you. You are also a preacher. You are you, and you are still a preacher. Okay. Sure. Yeah. And then the OG Miracle Rootree. Did it say anything? Oh yeah, you were also the same way. Okay, so you're also a preacher. Okay. Sure. Doesn't say anything about the mother. Doesn't look like it. Okay. All right. Let's look up Miracle Rootree the Third. Rootree 3. Third. Okay. The third. Third. Nope. Okay. All right. If I just say Nicole. Okay. What were my two options with Nicole? It was Nicole Madsen and Nicole Smith. Nothing. Okay. I guess they're not listed as the notable ones, right? So it might be a little hard to do that. Anything else here? I can't say Miracle Third. No? Okay. All right. Fair enough. Let's go to Red Rootree now. What do we got? Strange historical facts. Wow. Aloysius herring Rootree. Red herring? Okay. Does that mean that something about this is a red herring? Maybe? Was an appointed judge and politician. Oh, okay, here we go. Who earned his nickname ironically because he was the ambassador to Ireland for only about 6 days. He served what some people contend is the shortest term in history. A few days after he was appointed, he was heard disparaging his position and the Irish people. He then tried to run for state senate. He claimed to be related to the Roottrees Candy Company in a newspaper ad, but it came out that the last name was merely a coincidence. And he was defeated in a landslide. Interesting. Okay. So... Okay. So red is Aloysius herring. Not related. Judge and politician. Judge, politician. Okay. So for this, where would red belong then if he's not actually related? Did he marry in? What is this? Okay. That's weird. Okay. Interesting. All right. Okay. Okay, what if I look up Aloysius? Does it say anything else? No. Same thing. Okay. Okay. Now, who else do we have in the notable? Jim Rootree. Okay. All right. James Rootree is a singer who sings in the duo Jim and Diamond. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to hold this up, highlight it in the important one. And I'm also going to say Aloysius is not Rootree by blood, I guess. All right, let's go back. So Jim is James, sure, a singer who sings in the duo Jim and Diamond with his wife Diamond LaRue. Sure, okay, and they have a one-hit wonder song in here. Let me just write this. There we go. Although Jim writes the majority of songs, plays the guitar, and often sings, Diamond is considered by fans to be the band's lead singer. The band has never had another hit, but has its fans who refer to themselves as Diamond's Dazzlers, okay? Music, folksy and acoustic, sure. They've continued to release music through the 80s and early 90s. Other albums you might find mentioned are Cherry Tree and Sound of Laughter. Jim has become a bit of a recluse, and he hasn't made a public appearance since 96. Is that worth writing down, or... Can I look up albums on here? No, because this is... Yeah, no. All right. Sure. So let's check out this evidence. Does it have a picture of them? Oh, what is this? Oh, just saying that it's not actually important, probably. I'd guess. Yes, okay. So this is James. This is... whatever her name was. Okay, oh, this is a lot. Rolling On Down to the City was barely a top 20 hit for a few weeks in '79. According to the liner notes, it satirizes how part of society was content to remain indifferent to economic inflation and civil unrest in the Middle East, unless pop culture tricked them into caring. Okay. Somewhat ironically, listeners didn't seem to pay attention to the lyrics enough to trick them into caring. Instead, most of its play came from roller discos. Because it was such a product of its time, it doesn't get much play anymore, even on stations that play oldies. Maybe that's why you'd never heard of it before now. This image is from an auction for a sealed copy. It has a sticker that says only the great-grandson of Elias Rootree could make disco this sweet. It's credited... Okay. It's credited to Peter Jamowitz from MMM. I don't know... Okay. Music and lyrics by Jim or James. Vocals by Jim and Diamond LaRue. Okay, the lyrics of the song contain no clues. All right, I'll skip these for now then. if it says directly these don't contain clues. Okay, but the important thing here, right, is that he is the great-grandson. And he's notable. So he would be down on this level. Meaning, it's this or this. And it has to be this because it's not Carl. So this has to be James Roottrees, married to Diamond LaRue. You are a singer? Okay, no. Just musician? Yes. And there you go. Ah, beautiful. You love to see it. Okay. And now we're up to 9. There we go. Okay, so that's the 9 that was required. We should have our special person come back. All right, what's up?
You're on a roll. I'll try to keep that momentum going. Carl's office was a mess, thanks to some burst pipes.
Okay.
But I unearthed a photo from a 1970s Roottrees reunion. I also found some important-looking papers.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff here. Okay.
You've traced 9 blood relatives so far. I'll have more to share after you find 9 more.
Sure. Okay. Oh, we just got a lot. Alrighty. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, so this is Stephanie Jones, presumably. This was buried under a ton of other mail that Carl left in his inbox. It had a handwritten note attached that seemed personal. Okay. The flyer about a candidate for local office, Stephanie Jones. On the back is an excerpt from a newspaper article from the Butler County Times about her campaign. Stephanie may have grown up in an unconventional family, to say the least, but in her words, it was still full of love. We saw that one person was adopted. Do we think this could be Stephanie? And now, 22 years later, with a baby of her own due around Christmas, her message for voters is simply, love is our future. The handwritten note says, Carl, I know we don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company, but if you could talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie. Okay, hold on. She could use the publicity your daughters bring. Don't let our conflicts spread to the next generation. CM and Stephanie Jones. I'll put adopted question mark on here. I'm going to highlight this in... Where should I put this? Names, maybe? I don't know, to be honest. Maybe I'll put it in names. But, oh, wait, hold on. I also need to click on the image. Okay. So... Ooh. Unless... Okay. Well, the thing is, right, I would have to imagine that Stephanie should be on the same... Or CM and Stephanie should be on the same level here. Right? Oh, so. Maybe this could be Stephanie. Maybe the personal things is that you have married... They're multiple. Okay. Wait. But Stephanie Jones, that means it's CM Jones. What? What? Okay, maybe I'm way overthinking. Or not overthinking, but just thinking about this wrong. Hold on. Stephanie Jones. We got a picture of her. Stephanie, she could use the publicity her daughters bring. Don't let our conflicts spread to the next generation. CM. CM. There's Christopher Hudson, Laura, Carolyn, Chris Clark, Elias M. Huh, who could be CM? What? The only one whose initials are CM is Carolyn Morden. Oh, unless I figured that this was CM, and it was just suggesting that, like, maybe this was his wife, Stephanie? But maybe this is Stephanie. We don't know anything about this person, whoever this could be. But then CM... Unless CM just means campaign mailer? Interesting. Okay, let me... Is CM... I think it was Carolyn Miller? Or campaign mailer? Involved with Stephanie Jones. Okay. Interesting. All right, let's check this one out then. Take pictures of you guys, of course. This is in Paris. This photo has a note attached from your employer. Okay, here's a bonus. When I pulled the water damage photo of the free spirits out of the frame, this fell out too. Written on the back of the photo is, couldn't make a reunion, wishing you well from Paris, Gwyn, and the boys. Okay. Free spirits, what is this? Accidentally left for a second. Okay, free spirits. And it said Gwyn and the boys. Gwyn. And the two boys, presumably. One is you and one... Oh, but we don't know which one is which. A little sketcy. But, yeah, well... I'll have to keep note on that one there. Okay. Oh. Film school. Okay. One of Gwyn's... Well, for now, I'll just... Okay, the guy with the straighter hair. Film school? Can I say film school? No. Okay, so I guess actor would work for now. All right, we'll hold that. Okay. All right, Shiva candle. This photo was tucked inside an envelope with a letter beneath a candle in the corner of his office. The letter says, to Carl and Brenda, I'm sorry that you were unable to attend the funeral. Oh, let me also do this. It's traditional to have it as soon as possible, and Ernie, more than anyone else on Earth, knew how busy your job can be. So Ernie died. Presumably. Ernie died. Okay. I've enclosed a Shiva candle identical to ours if you'd like to pay your respects, though it's not expected for those outside of the faith to do so. Okay. Ernie was a man full of love, not only for his family, but for his family's legacy. He had an immense amount of pride for the work you three did together, as well as how Carl has carried on for him after taking over. Okay. Oh, Debbie. Debbie, wife of Ernie. Okay, hold on. As for myself, it's impossible to express my gratitude enough for rescuing us from the panic and burden of endless bills. Though we caught it too late for him to get on the donor list. Okay. The company took care of us beyond our wildest expectations. It went unsaid at the time, but Ernie and I knew it had to have been Carl that convinced the trust, and that it was no coincidence that it happened shortly after your visit, Brenda. Up until the end, Ernie and I had to stay strong, especially for Nicole's sake. We heard about one of the Nicoles. Okay. I'll put like daughter question mark of these two. We could never have done that without the two of you fighting for us. Much love, Debbie. Okay. Okay. So my initial thought is that was Brenda? Okay, I don't know actually. Hold on. Nicole. Where did we see Nicole? I just want to look through here first. Okay, nothing immediate standing out. Let's hop back into the journal. Where was a Nicole? I swear Nicole was noted. I could have sworn. Oh, okay, Miracle 3. The wife is Nicole. That would seem like then not related to this. Okay, but the problem was there were two Nicoles, right? Nicole Smith and Nicole Madsen. Okay, what about Ernie and Debbie then? What were their last names? Ernest is Madsen. There you go. There you go. And then probably Deborah? Yeah. So Ernest is Madsen. So presumably this is the other Nicole Smith right here. And then Nicole Madsen was the daughter of Ernest and Deborah, who seemed to be relatively... Let's see. Okay. Ernie was a man full of love, not only for his family, but for his family's legacy. He had an immense amount of pride for the work you three did together. You three did together. Oh, probably Carl and Brenda and Ernie. Okay. Like what is going to be most important for me to highlight in here though? I think I'm just going to highlight this. For now. Just throw it in there. I know my sorting of the pages is already going to be messy, but it is what it is. There's going to be a lot of stuff here, right? What's new about this? Okay, yeah, just new photo stuff. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Oh, here we go. Every 20 years or so, the Roottrees would hold a big reunion and recreate an old family photo. This one is from the 70s, and Carl is the teenager in the middle. Hello, Carl. Sorry about the water damage. A pipe burst in Carl's office. On the back of the photo, in childish print writing, it says November. Well, that was certainly one of the people's names, right? There are also a large number of cursive signatures. These include, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, and then November. Because November was a person, right? I swear I saw that. Yes. So that's all the names here. Okay, so this is November. That's November. Is there a way... Can I, like, see the images I've taken or no? I was going to say, like, label whoever that was with November. Doesn't look like it. Really? November Roottrees. Okay. Well, we know that this is November. There's no... Ah, here we go. No? Oh, no. Dang. Okay. All right. I mean, I'll take pictures of all of you. I wish there was a way to write that. Because you're November. Okay. You're Miracle Jr. Yeah. Okay. Sure. I mean, so these are all the people in the generation. Makes sense. Okay. I'm trying to think. Okay. Next president, Guy Hudson. So whoever Guy Hudson is, he was the 4th president. Probably. Maybe. Guy Hudson, I'll say 4th Prez? Or does it... yeah, probably. 3rd or 4th. Or 3rd. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we know that's November, but until we can figure out who November is, probably not crazy helpful, right? Okay, let's look into Lauren Roottrees now. All right. Author Lauren Roottrees, a distant relative of the Roottrees sisters, is known for her book, A Life Between Wars. That's another thing we can look up then. According to a website about famous authors, in the early 1960s, Lauren released a few romance novels under her married name, Lauren Rafferty. Okay. So, we got Rafferty is, all right, married. So I'm keeping a lot of the notes here in my written journal because personally I like that as well, just as a heads up. Rafferty is married to Lauren Roottrees. Okay. When her publisher learned that she had been keeping diaries about her famous family, they insisted she release them under her original name, Lauren Roottrees, to take advantage of the notoriety. A selection of diary entries released in 1965 as A Life Between Wars spans from the untimely death of her husband in World War II to coping with the post-war world as a young widow and mother, as well as her perspectives on changing times and socialites all the way through the entry into Vietnam. While the content is not considered particularly relevant to modern audiences, it's found new life as an exercise in high school English classes to show an evolution in writing style and for a look into life in previous generations. After the success of her diaries, her publisher re-released her romance novels under the name Lauren Roottrees. This included Romance in Court, Court Jester. You'll find no recent details around Lauren, though she is listed as retired. All right, that's long. Let me just say Lauren Roottrees books. Oh, geez. Okay. A Life Between Wars, Romance in Court, and Court Jester. Okay. Now I'll delete you. Okay. That's interesting. So we can look this up. So married to Lawrence Roottrees, widowed after World War II, I think it said. So she's fairly old. 1908. So just probably 1 or 2 generations then, right? Hold on. What were the names of the candies here? So Lauren is not here, though. So Lauren is not from this original generation, which means Lauren must be one of the next ones to still be in the right generation. I think so. Or like the right time frame. Now, it also did say distantly related, but to be fair, like the order doesn't matter much on here in terms of how distantly related you are. I think all it really implies is that Lauren... Well, I was going to say probably isn't one of these, but she's a notable one. That would mean this has to be Lauren, right? Who is now listed as retired? Okay, so author. And Rafferty. Okay, there are a lot of Raffertys. Alrighty, well, that's not great for me then. Let's look at some of her books then. Lauren Roottrees. Let's look for A Life Between Wars. Okay. Look, okay. Seems we've hit the jackpot here. Well, that sounds pretty good to me. This is a book occasionally taught in schools. You even find a hardcover edition for students that has a full page of high-quality pictures. A summary of the contents of the book's photos and particularly relevant entries. Oh, that sounds wonderful. Okay. Ah, so that's you. And then this is whoever your husband is. One of the many Raffertys. So that's you. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see what we have here. Yep, she's notable. I know this. Published in 1960. Diary entries from 40 to 65. Jacob and her son Clark. Oh, look at that. Clark Rafferty. Jacob Rafferty. It looks like it's matching. Now, Clark Rafferty then, man, what was this guy up to? Wow. 2 divorces, married 3 times. Assuming this is correct here. Make sure this lines up. It certainly looks like it lines up. Yeah. And we have a picture of Jacob Rafferty. Oh, yeah. This guy. What is this? Okay, I can add more once I verify. Sure. Sure. Okay, what else can be taken here? The granddaughter of Elias and Gwyneth. Uh-huh. Her mother's family was called the Cossells, but she hardly ever mentions them. Her father, who she always referred to as Pop, was the head lawyer. Okay. So we will say I feel like honestly there's a lot going on with Lauren Roottrees right now. Father is lawyer, wrote Clanced Trust, called Pop. Mother is Cossells family, and then granddaughter. Yeah. The Roottrees have internal shorthand names for the different generations. Here we go. 5 pieces are the original generation, the next generation. Okay. This is useful here. We'll go in the immediate family here. We'll go notable, actually. 5 pieces is first gen, then next gen, then free spirits. Okay. So the youngest of the free spirits, is November. Youngest is over here, the free spirits. So this is 5 pieces, next generation, free spirits. That means this is November. November. Here we go. November Rootree, there you go. Yeah, now of these two, who knows? Who knows, right? And then, hold on, before I do anything else, what did it say on here about, okay, next president, not necessarily next generation president or anything. And so, with our notes here, we saw mother is Cosell's family. The father, Clancy Edward, was a lawyer. Mother, Cosell. Yep, Sarah Cosell. There we go. So Clancy Edward, we don't have a picture of that I'm aware of. Okay. And then Clark Rafferty. What was it signed? Did he just sign Clark on here? Yeah, just signed Clark. Yeah. I'm trying to see, would these line up in any order? I don't think so. Yeah. That seems like it would be a little too straightforward, right? Oh, okay, we have a lot. Hold on. Okay. Here we go. Okay, wait, I got everything here, right? Yeah. All right. An entry titled Complaints from Lauren Roottrees' diary, written in 1953. This entry seems to focus specifically on one of Lauren's family members, Gwyn, who is on the list, which we already have. It seems everyone has something to complain about. Gwyn, as an only child, complained of loneliness. We have Gwyn up here. Okay. I told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing, but it fell on deaf ears. Okay, so the 3 younger brothers here. During the summer where I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot, Margolite, sure. I hoped she'd be the sister I never had and that I'd do the same for her. I even tried to dye my hair blonde to fit in with the 2 of them, but what a mess. But she just complained. To her, I was the lucky cousin. Okay, so we know that Margolite is going to be blonde. Let me just add that. Margolite is blonde. I don't know how helpful that is. Nope. With an E. Okay. Now she's off living the glamorous life while I'm stuck here with Clark. I must admit, seeing her everywhere contributes to my unhappiness. Her visage stares at me even now from my coffee table. She gets to be in Starlet and tell tales of how she gallivants around the world, kissing the likes of Harrison Lane and Wild Bill Williams. She's the first Rootree woman to be anything other than a housewife. I'm jealous. Interesting, okay. If I were not a single mother, could I make my own way in this world? But I'm off topic. A girl with all the luck in the world was jealous of me. Okay. And now, though I've been undoubtedly burdened by a terrible tragedy, I'm also lucky to be born into a family that can support me for eternity. I can raise a child without worry, unlike countless other widows. If any of them were to hear me complaining, they would rightfully scoff, just like I do at Gwyn. Starlet. Okay, hold on a second now. Is that a periodical? Gwyn. Oh, here we go. Okay, what do we got here? Gwyn Rootree was often in Starlet. Most mentions were around the time of her divorce in 1958 from Wild Bill Williams. Well, here you go. Bill? Oh, Williams? What? Okay, well. The gossip is speculative and full of tabloid stereotypes. Some of it focuses on the fact that when she announced her divorce, she also announced she was, quote, pregnant again. Others mention that the rumor is Wild Bill had multiple affairs, which left her heartbroken. Okay. Oh, hold on. Wait, okay, I just saw something down here. Hold on. Interview from earlier in mid-1957 where she was asked about her last name. She answered, "The power of a name is undeniable. My grandfather constantly preached the importance of family names and honoring them. My father decided to bless me with a famous name. There's nothing wrong with Cornwall." Okay. But Rootree has power. Okay. My husband similarly goes by Wild Bill. It's an infamous name he repurposed for himself because he didn't have the benefit of being born with a famous one. But Wild combined with the alliteration Williams is incredibly memorable. Although we've relocated to Paris, I know your readers love to keep up with my husband, so consider this a Starlit exclusive about both of us. Wild Bill and I have a child on the way, and we're sticking with Rootree for the last name, not Williams. But we also have a plan to lean into alliteration. That's how we'll honor both our family names. But Williams isn't here. But it is alliterative. So do we see alliterative males here? Let's look. None of these are alliteration. None of these. Nope. 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 No. No, no. And then you're not a Rootree. So I can skip those. No. No, no, no. What? Well, none of these are alliterative. Is his name not like Will Williams? What am I missing here? What? What? Well, so you guys are going to be our Roottrees. Yeah, Robert and Ronald. Okay. Again, I am just filling this in. I don't know the order. I'm putting these in here just so I have them. This does not mean that I think this is correct. I know that these are the two of them. It's just which one's which one's the picture of which one's older, yada yada. I don't know. But let me also just write down here so I have it in my journal. Robert and Ronald are Gwen's sons. Now it's weird, yeah, that I can't find an alliterative name here for her spouse. That's weird to me. That's weird to me. Okay. All right. My husband... Okay, wait, hold on. Cornwall. Wait. Why does it say my father decided to bless me with a famous... Oh, because he decided not to... So he is Cornwall. Yeah. He decided to bless her with the famous name because he allowed her to be the last name Rootree and not Cornwall. Yeah. But yeah, there's no Williams. It's weird. There's no Bill. There's no Will, there's no Bill, there's none of that. All right. Well, this is kind of a gold mine right here, so let's keep going. An entry titled Dynasty from Lauren Rootree's diary, written in 1958. Okay. It focuses on the day her grandfather, Elias, announced he would step down as president of the Rootree Candy Company. Here we go. And who was the successor? Okay, Clancy told me everyone got quite heated, right? Because he was the lawyer. Granddad was furious none of his sons would take over as president, but that's what he gets for holding on to it so long. With architects, preachers, and architects... Okay, let me write this down. Actually, this might belong in here. Jobs. One of the 5 pieces is an architect. Okay. So So with the 5 pieces refusing to step up, it comes down to us next gens. Pop argued at length that the company should stay with our branch of the family since we still have the Rootree name. Not even sure Clancy would have wanted it, but he's the one who was volunteered. Instead, it ended up going to Zach. Even though his surname doesn't match the candy, he's the firstborn son. Okay, he's the firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. I'm not sure how that's relevant to running a company, but Granddad has always had very particular views when it came to his bloodline. Okay, that's a lot right here. So Zach is first son of first 5-piece, last name not Rootree. I asked Clancy if it ever came up that a woman could take over. After all, Angie, there we go. So Angie is probably the furthest left on the 3rd level, the next gens. Angie left of Zach, okay? And I'm next oldest of us all. Hold on. What? Then Lauren. I'll never forget the cuss words Pop used when he told Ma it wouldn't go to us. Mother, ever the quick-witted, at least with catty remarks, countered back maybe they wanted it to go to the only member of the family who looks like he samples the product. All right, so let's look at the fatter guy here. How is Lauren next? He only listed 2 names before her, which were Zach and Angie. Maybe because some secret thing here. Because hold on. Let me confirm this once more. Angie was older, but they're brother and sister. So this is probably some unknown. So this has to be Angie. Angelica. This has to be Zach. Zachariah Morden. And they didn't take the name. So presumably this is... Okay, so that would mean that this is a husband. Last name Morden. Must be James. And then this, the oldest Rootree, is then a woman whose first name must be G. Gwendolyn? There was a Gwendolyn, right? Gwendolyn? Any other G? No. That must be Gwendolyn. Okay. And I think the other thing that I remembered from... Let me pop back into here. Not this one, but this one. No. She's the first Rootree woman to be anything other than a housewife. That is... Gwen. Gwen is the first Rootree woman to be anything other than a housewife. So you must be a housewife. You're a housewife. And... So Margolite Rootree must also be a housewife. Yeah. And does that... Yeah, okay, yes. Great. Okay. This one is really, really giving us a lot. Okay, Sam. All right. You learned that Elias Rootree had given in to his wife and announced that Sam, an obscure relative, was to be included in family gatherings. Gwyneth had been pushing to include Sam for quite some time. Okay. Sam and Gwyneth, question mark. Okay. Why Sam? I have many distant relatives I've never met. After all, Granny had sisters and Granddad had a brother or two. Okay. But I was told, trim their branches from the family tree. So why is Sam special? Nothing adds up, and I'm not the only one to realize. Angie summoned all the next gens to a secret meeting in Zach's office. Gwyn's in Paris, but the rest of us, including Miracle's boys, spent ages trying to unravel the mystery. I didn't recognize Sam at Uncle Junior's... Okay, here we go. Uncle Junior. This is probably Miracle Junior. Miracle Junior. Uncle to Lauren? Question mark. Let me confirm. Okay. Married Patsy. At the reception, when I asked who Sam was, Pop shushed me and said it was complicated. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands, EC, and John. Oh, jeez, this is so much in here. Wow. Okay. Now, so this I'm gonna highlight and add to jobs. Okay. Upon hearing that, Zach checked the records and managed to confirm all 3 are on the books. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother. Okay, hold on now. Eli. You are... wait. What? Wait, what about Elias Jr. then? Oh, hold on. I'm gonna put Elias M for Elias Miracle. Is what I would put for there. Just to have it. Okay. Oh, not my brother. Lauren's brother Eli. There are multiple. Let me just put that though. Lauren, brother. I was gonna write that down, but let me do this. Highlight, and then I will put you in the Lauren page. Apparently, when he was riding his mini bike, Sam gave him some old tools and taught him how to make the bike's engine faster. None of us think that proper for a multitude of reasons, but Eli certainly seems thrilled. At the end of the day, nothing explains why an outsider has cozied into family affairs, especially one who works on the farm of all places. Whatever happened to blood is thicker than syrup? Why is Granddad making an exception now? Okay. Well, that would make me imagine that maybe this is Sam? No, that can't be. That can't be. Because... CE. Hold on. But yeah, that's Clancy Edward. Maybe you could be Sam or something, though? I don't know. But let me just confirm. Miracle, your uncle? Yep, that makes sense. And then Uncle Junior. Oh. Wait, what? Married to Patsy. Wait, what? Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy. I guess it could be another Uncle Junior. I'll only put this. Yeah. And you'll go into the Lauren page again. So I guess you're not necessarily Miracle Jr. Okay. I think we still have another one, though. Oh, geez. 17? Okay. This is one of the final Entries. Okay. All right. Clark's getting married, and in my opinion, far too young. Okay. He's barely 18, for God's sake, and Danielle isn't much older. Okay, so Clark and Danielle. Clark and Danielle. But openly confronting them would make me a hypocrite. After all, Jacob and I got married at 16. Jacob? Different from Wild Bill? Oh, Jacob. Duh. We already have that. Forgot already. Okay. Clark, like the rest of his generation, is a free spirit. What else do you call a group of kids growing up with more money than any one person can spend? They all aspire to be musicians and artists and dancers and all sorts of nonsense. The only one who has any discipline is Carl. That's because Pop forced Clancy to send him to the academy. I thought Pop was Clancy. What? Okay. I might miss something there. Maybe I'm just getting old, but our generation was never so bad. My brothers all seemed to pursue paths of knowledge. The most rebellious thing any of us ever did was bring home someone who would be illegal to marry if we lived anywhere south of Pennsylvania. Okay, so... I mean, a black person? I guess? Just thinking about... Because we saw in the political advertisement, at least someone who was mixed, right? Was that illegal up until the mid-1900s? Hold on, let me look that up. Was interracial marriage illegal in the U.S.? Yeah. 1967. 1967. So yeah. Okay, that makes sense then. Okay. Pop seems to have gotten over it because Edward is set to take over his department once he retires. Edward. Okay. Edward. Edward take over, presumably lawyer? And then, would that imply that Edward is black? I don't know. And as for me, my first published book, Swashbuckle My Heart. Did I write that one down? No. Edit note. Swashbuckle My Heart. And also, you are going to go in here. Based on the pirate stories I used to invent with Jacob when we were walking in the woods, I think he'd be more proud that Clark and I are carrying it on his name. Even my cousins are doing well. Zach's not a bad president after all. Okay, yeah, so Zach becomes president, sure. Which we knew. Or... we did, or we know he was going to be. And his sister seems to be doing a good job raising their twins. Gwyn is Gwyn, but at least she came out of the divorce with her head held high. She even told us she might come home next year so we can meet her kids. But the free spirits and any other family, they'd all end up on the streets. Even Clark. Okay. Yeah, so Zach is the second president? Is he really just the second? That was what it was, right? Elias stepping down for Zach. Yes, okay. So Zach is the second president, and we should be able to find... Well, no, I don't know if I can actually find which one is Zach. But then, next president, Guy Hudson. Do we think that then Guy Hudson is after Zach? Let me do this. Prez will go Zach to Guy to a question mark to Carl. But it could be a different order. And you know what? Wow, I've just realized how long I've been going on this episode. This game is absolutely incredible so far. I'm having so much fun piecing this together, but I do have to take a break. But you better believe I'm coming right back to this game and continuing to play it today because I am absolutely sucked in. But I am going to cut off this episode here. And so with that, as always, hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.